चढ़दीकला टाइम टीवी नॉर्थ अमरीका देख रहे सारे दर्शकों का वर्ल्ड पंजाबी न्यूज़ दे विच स्वागत है। मैं थोड़े नाल रिदम। खबरों की शुरुआत करने तो पहले एक नज़र मारते हैं कुछ खास हैडलाइंस ते। ब्रैम्पटन सिटी काउंसलर वालों डाउनटाउन विखे की जा रही है तब्दीली। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नाल संबंधित लियांदे जा रहे हैं कई प्रोजेक्ट। सिटी काउंसलर्स और सिटी मेयर जॉन टोरी वालों दी गई जानकारी। मिसिसागा के फॉक्स वे गर्ल्स वे बॉलीवुड इलाके में वापरी एक अजीब घटना। साइड वॉक उत्ते पाया गया एक 20 साला व्यक्ति जख्मी। पुलिस वालों शकी हालात च की जा रही मुलजम की भाल। विधानसभा में एक बार मुड़ बोली एड्रिया हारवर्थ। फोर्ड सरकार से लाई निशाने ते चुकया लॉन्ग टर्म केयर होम्स का मुद्दा। लॉन्ग टर्म केयर च प्रॉफिट कमाने वाले प्लेयर्स बाहर कढ़न की की सरकार तो मंग। ते हुण खबरां विस्तार नाल। ब्रैम्पटन सिटी काउंसलर वालों डाउनटाउन विखे तब्दीली की जा रही है, जिस तहत इसकी सुंदरता भी वधाई जा रही है ते इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नाल संबंधित कई प्रोजेक्ट लियांदे जा रहे हैं तां जो वध तो वध लोग डाउनटाउन पहुंचन, जिस सदका छोटे बिजनेस अदारियां नूं इसका फायदा पहुंचे। इस संबंधी सिटी काउंसलर्स और मेयर पैट्रिक ब्राउन वालों जानकारी सांझी की गई।
Downtown Brampton is the place to be. It is going to be an exciting place to see how it transforms in the years. There's an exciting transformation happening in downtown Brampton. Before we saw piecemeal after piecemeal approach, interim measures after interim measures. This council has said we need to get it right. We need to be deliberate and determined to make sure we revitalize our downtown to a place that people want to grow up, live, work, and retire. And some of the initiatives that are happening are actually really exciting, whether it's Guelph Humber's new campus that's being proposed in the downtown, or Ryerson University's cybersecurity center, to the Center for Innovation, Beehive, the soft landing spot for international startups. The list goes on and on. Major new residential developments that involve density associated with transit. Downtown Brampton is the place to be. It is going to be an exciting place to see how it transforms in the years.
Been waiting for a really long time to start to see some transformational change, and guess what? It's happening very soon. We will be looking at the streetscaping and looking at the activation of the downtown with artists. We're going to be painting the ground. We're going to have those vacant buildings covered with amazing local artists, etc. But you know what? It is even more than just a streetscaping project. This transformation is more than just cobblestone, hanging baskets, and trees. We're doing that too, and it's going to take time. It's part of the growing pains when it comes to creating a new downtown where people can live, learn, work, and play. But the most important part that's happening in downtown is people. We're bringing people and customers to the downtown core, and that includes the University of Guelph Humber looking to move their entire campus of students to the downtown core. That's over 5,000 students and 400 staff potentially coming to the downtown right when a whole bunch of condos and buildings and apartments are going up in the downtown core next to transit, which also means we need transit, which also means we need to make sure we incorporate the potential for the LRT and all-day two-way go. So all of that transformational change, bringing people to the downtown, economic impact, small businesses actually getting real customers here in the downtown spans far beyond some of the infrastructure work that we need to do in order to support.
सवेरे मिसिसागा विच वापरी एक घटना तो बाद एक व्यक्ति की हस्पताल पहुंचन मगरों मौत हो गई। पीर पुलिस इस मामले नूं शक्की मन के चल रही है। सवेरे 8:30 बजे टैरी फॉक्स वे गर्ल्स वे बॉलीवुड इलाके विच पुलिस अधिकारियों नूं मेडिकल परेशानी नाल संबंधित कॉल आई। जदों पुलिस अधिकारी मौके उत्ते पहुंचे तां उन्हां नूं 20 साला व्यक्ति साइड वॉक उत्ते पिया मिलिया ते ओह जख्मी हालात विच सी। पुलिस अनुसार उस व्यक्ति नूं फौरन हस्पताल ले जाया गया ते उस नूं मौके उत्ते पहुंचदे सार ही मृतक ऐलान दिता गया। इस संबंध विच होमिसाइड ते मिसिंग परसनस ब्यूरो नूं जानकारी दे दी गई है ते सब तो पहला मौके उत्ते पहुंचण वालियां ने आखिर कहा कि ओह इस दी पुष्टि नहीं कर सकदे कि ओह व्यक्ति किस तरह जख्मी होया। पुलिस ने दस्सिया कि ओह इस मामले नूं शक्की मन के चल रही है ते उन्हां वल्लों मशकूकां या चश्मदीदां दी भाल कीती जा रही है।
Police attended and located the male on a sidewalk, suffering from obvious signs of trauma. The male succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased at the hospital. We're not speaking to the injury itself. We can tell you, though, that there was a large amount of blood when officers located the mail.
He did some work on my laundry room. And he sent me the pictures this morning, and I'm calling him and there's no answer. And they're not sure. Look what he sent me this morning. He sent me the pictures. Did he fix the washing machine?
ओंटारियो विधान सभा विच विरोधी धिर दी लीडर एड्रिया हारवर्थ वालों एक बार मुड़ लॉन्ग टर्म केयर्स होम्स दा मुद्दा चुक्या गया, जिन्हें एक बार मुड़ फोर्ड सरकार नूं निशाने ते लिया ते कहा कि सरकार दी गलत नीतियां कारण सीनियर्स दी ये हालात होई है। उन्हें एक बार मुड़ प्रॉफिट कमाउण वाले प्लेयर्स नूं लॉन्ग टर्म केयर्स सैक्टर विचों बाहर कड्ढण दी मंग कीती है।
Pickering at Legion Branch 606 to talk about something that we're very concerned about, which is getting profits out of our long-term care system. And I'm proud to be here with a couple of folks who have experienced that for-profit motive in long-term care and have seen the tragedies that have resulted with their parents. And so first, behind me, you'll see a woman. Her name is Sherry Zielinski, and she recently lost her mom, who was a resident at Orchard Villa, privately run for-profit long-term care home. I'm going to say a few words. I'm going to ask Sherry to say a few words, and then we'll be calling on Fred Kramer, whose mother also lost her battle with COVID-19 in Orchard Villa about a year ago. And so we're here today to say very clearly that we need to get the profits out of our long-term care system. We know very well that the pandemic really pulled the curtain away from or back from what has been happening for far too long in long-term care. We've seen the pandemic rip through the long-term care homes.
एनडीपी आगू जगमीत सिंह ने ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया दे विच एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नूं संबोधन किया। इस दौरान उन्होंने क्रॉस कंट्री टूर बारे विचार वटांदरा किया। जगमीत ने कोरोना काल दौरान पैदा होईयां चुनौतियां दे मद्देनजर संभावी फेडरल चोणां बारे अपनी प्रतिक्रिया भी दी।
Well, there's certainly a lot of uncertainty because the Prime Minister has made it look like he's going to an election. I've asked the question a number of times, would he commit to not holding an election while we are fighting this pandemic? And he has not answered, suggesting to me that he's looking for an excuse. I also want to highlight, this is not a foregone conclusion. We've got 2 years left on our mandate. We can continue to work to get help to people. I believe it's irresponsible at this point when we are just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. People are getting vaccinated, things are opening up. It would be risky to put all those sacrifices to risk by having a national election that could cause additional problems. We've seen other provinces struggle recently. Newfoundland and Labrador had an election where they had to push back the date of the election a number of times, which really put democracy at risk. So I believe what we need to do right now is focus on getting help to people. And if Justin Trudeau wants to do that and all of his announcements aren't just for show, then he can continue to work with me to deliver the help that Canadians need. We can go back to Ottawa in September and do that. I'm not worried at all. I'm in fact not surprised that Justin Trudeau, a Liberal Prime Minister who's been promising childcare for decades, wanted to make the announcement with a New Democrat Premier who's actually done the work. New Democrats have done the work to deliver. John Horgan, as soon as he became Premier, immediately started working to deliver a childcare pilot project which has changed the lives of so many people. He's shown his commitment, he's shown that he's willing to do the work.
ओंटारियो दे प्रीमियर डग फोर्ड नूं प्रोविंस अंदर तीजे पड़ाव तहत हो रही रीओपनिंग बारे जानकारी दी। उन्होंने दस्सिया कि प्रोविंस अंदर 16 जुलाई तो तीजे पड़ाव तहत रीओपनिंग की शुरुआत होगी, क्योंकि ओंटारियो अंदर महामारी नाल बनी स्थिति विच बहुत ज्यादा सुधार है, जिसलिए उन्होंने फ्रंट लाइन वर्करां ते वैक्सीन टीम के यत्नां की शलाघा भी की।
Yeah, so we're going into step 3 next Friday, and I just want to, I'm here out in Brampton with Mayor Brown and Mr. Sarkaria and Amarjot Sandhu, great hardworking representatives for Brampton. And we're just here to thank the frontline healthcare workers, and we're very, very grateful for all the work everyone's done across the province, because without these frontline healthcare heroes, we wouldn't be able to go into step 3, and we have a very strong plan, and we're going to continue on with the plan, and it's about the road map to reopening, and I'm just grateful for the businesses and everyone in the province, so thank you everyone.
What does this mean for the next step? Is it going to be advanced too, maybe to July 6th?
Well, I think what we have to do is let's get into step 3, and I just encourage everyone, please get vaccinated, because that's the reason we're able to move this forward, because the great numbers, and I give all the thanks to the people of Ontario. But folks, this isn't over by any means. We still have a good battle on our hands. So let's not be out there doing the victory lap whatsoever. Let's just be due diligent and continue getting vaccinated.
ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ 2 ਲੇਗਲੇ ਸਕਾਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਲਈ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਐਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਐਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਕਾਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਦੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਲਈ 1.3 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਡਾਲਰ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 16 ਕਿਲੋਮੀਟਰ ਦਾ ਵਾਧਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ ਅਤੇ 8 ਨਵੇਂ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ।
Places south of the Fraser River like Surrey and Langley are growing fast and have been for years. So with more families choosing this as home, the demand for good, efficient transit has gone up. And that's why we're here today, to meet this need and to make communities in the region more connected. Today, I can announce that the federal government will provide up to $1.3 billion for the Surrey-Langley SkyTrain extension. The new line will connect growing Surrey neighbourhoods, the township of Langley and the city of Langley with the rapid transit families, workers and students deserve. If you're wondering what that'll look like, this project includes an elevated extension of 16 kilometres from King George Station, 8 stations, 3 bus exchanges and 30 SkyTrain cars. Nobody likes to be stuck in traffic when you could be home with your kids. This will cut commute times and make your lives easier. That means spending more time doing the things you love. Depuis 2015, notre gouvernement a fait des investissements historiques de transport collectif partout au pays. Chaque fois qu'on a créé de nouveaux trajets de transport en commun, on facilite la vie des gens. Chaque fois qu'on ajoute un véhicule électrique à nos réseaux, on aide à rendre l'air plus propre. Ces investissements ont des vrais impacts dans nos communautés. I don't have to tell people in BC how important it is to continue accelerating our fight against climate change.
ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਜੌਨ ਟੋਰੀ ਨੇ ਇਟੋਬੈਕੋ 'ਚ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਦਾ ਦੌਰਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਟੋਬੈਕੋ ਅਤੇ ਯਾਰਕ ਰੀਜਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਤਵੱਜੋ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਖੇਤਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਾਸੀ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ।
It's such a pleasure to be here, and this is at the very beginning of our homestretch push on the vaccine front in the Etobicoke, Rexdale, York area of the city, where we have some challenges to overcome, but we have a great opportunity in front of us as well in terms of just getting us that extra bit of the way there to people being fully vaccinated. Before we begin to talk about the program that's going to take place over the next week or so in the York, Etobicoke, Rexdale area, in the coming weeks, as it has been in the past. Over the months of August and September and October, we have people that are doing the right thing and made appointments to book themselves in for their vaccination. And one of the messages that we wanted to deliver today is to say, if you've booked one of those appointments quite far out, because maybe that's all that was available when you did the booking, check again. If you've passed the necessary period between first dose and second dose, we have appointments that are available now that you could take advantage of and get vaccinated sooner, because the single best tool, the single best weapon we have against COVID-19 and against the variants is people getting vaccinated. And I'm going to talk about a few of the numbers there, because it's important to see that we're doing well on the one hand and people have really stepped up. But on the other hand, we have a bit of a gap to make up in order to get us to the point where we can be completely confident that we're going to be open and stay open, and that we're going to be healthy and stay healthy. So I encourage you to really consider very carefully accelerating, speeding up the time that you get vaccinated, so that if you have an appointment out into the distance, I can tell you right now that even just this week alone, there are 16,000 appointments available in the city-run clinics. There are lots of opportunities in the community, like the one that's going to be taking place here.
ਫੈਡਰਲ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮੈਰੀ ਐਨਜੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਕਸੀਕੋ ਤੋਂ ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਸਟੇਟ ਮੈਕਸੀਕੋ ਐਗਰੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਸਾਲਗਿਰਾ ਮੌਕੇ ਸੰਬੋਧਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਸ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਸਮਝੌਤੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੰਦਿਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਕਾਲ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਲਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਹ ਸਮਝੌਤਾ ਬੇहद ਅਹਿਮ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਮਝੌਤੇ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਕੀ ਹੈ।
Stephen, thank you very much for that important question. It was really excellent for me as on my very first trip leaving Canada during this pandemic, that the trip started in Washington, D.C., and having the opportunity to meet with Ambassador Tai. Both softwood lumber and dairy, as you well know, is an issue that is a long-standing one. It is a long-standing one for both countries. We have the new NAFTA and the processes and the mechanisms in there to enable, to enable both our countries to utilize that, and certainly with respect to dairy, it is going through the process for dispute settlement. And the ambassador and I were clear that we are committed to working with each other to ensure that this relationship between our two countries continues to be strengthened. Softwood lumber, of course, is an issue that I raised with her, and again, it's a long-standing issue, but we are very committed to continuing to work together.
इस महीने ਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਰਥ ਯਾਰਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਈ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰ 3 ਮਸ਼ਕੂਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਫੁਟੇਜ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਾਰੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਵਿੱਚ 32 ਸਾਲਾ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਸੀ। ਚੋਵਾਨ ਜੌਨਸ ਰਾਤੀ 1 ਵਜੇ ਵਨਡੋਮ ਪਲੇਸ ਤੋਂ ਗ੍ਰੈਨਬੋਲ ਡਰਾਈਵਜ਼ ਨੇੜੇ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਹਾਇਸ਼ੀ ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਲੌਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ ਜਦ 3 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚਲਾਈਆਂ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਗੋਲੀ ਲੱਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਕੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਮ੍ਰਿਤਕ ਐਲਾਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਸ਼ਕੂਕ ਉਸ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚਲਾਈਆਂ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੋਲੀ ਇੱਕ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਦੀ ਲੱਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗੀ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਗੋਲੀ ਤੀਜੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗੀ। ਦੋਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਚੌਥਾ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਟੁੱਟੇ ਹੋਏ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਜ਼ਖਮੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਮਸ਼ਕੂਕ ਹੋਂਡਾ CRV ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਾਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗੱਡੀ ਯੋਕ ਰੀਜਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲੀ। ਵੀਰਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਚਕਰਤਾ ਨੇ 3 ਮਸ਼ਕੂਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਜਾਰੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ 3 ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਲੋਟ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੰਘਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਲੋੜਵੰਦ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਗਰ ਵੰਡ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ 28 ਮਾਰਚ ਸਾਲ 2020 ਤੋਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਜ਼ੇ ਪੱਕੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਦੇ ਖਾਣੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹਰ ਐਤਵਾਰ 1500 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਭੋਜਨ ਖਾਣੇ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਲੋੜਵੰਦ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਲਈ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਮੈਰੀਲੈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂਟੀਗੋਮਰੀ ਕਾਉਂਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ 300-400 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਖਾਣਾ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਲੜੀ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਮੈਰੀਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ 1500 ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਲੰਗਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਬੇਘਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਲਾਘਾ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਇਕੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੇ ਫਾਊਂਡਰ ਕੁਲਵੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਤੇ।
We are so lucky to have Chet Sherwood. He's a volunteer, has been helping people, those who are in need, and he works with the Sikh community here at the Sikh Center, Guru Gobind Singh Foundation. So Chet, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Chet, and I've been really happy to be able to help the community with the Guru Gobind Singh Foundation for the last several months in this really wonderful program for food distribution.
Yes, and what do you do otherwise?
I'm a professor of anthropology at the George Washington University.
Oh, wow. So you can see many people who are feeling the urge to offer themselves for service, and we have a wonderful, initiative by Chet and his family. His son is here. Hi.
Hello, Elliot.
How are you? How old are you? Do you like what your dad is doing? Yeah. So how many meals are we taking today?
Oh, well, this is many boxes. It's probably 12 boxes full of hot meals that we're bringing to the men's shelter.
So he's taking all the langar the food that we have produced today, fresh meals. This is kidney beans and rice, and chickpeas and rice, and lentils and rice is being taken to the men's shelter. And many other places you have delivered. Which other places have you delivered this week?
We've also delivered to an organization called So What Else in Rockville, which is a community organization that helps youth and other families in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So how many months have you been part of this operation?
I've been joining you all since January of this year. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
So if someone needs to learn anthropology, we can send them to you?
Please do. Please do. I'd love it.
All right. Thank you, Ji. So we are so grateful for your help and support. And any message to the Sikh community?
Just that I'm overwhelmed with feeling of belonging and being welcome, having worked together here, and just so proud of everything that you all are doing for the community in general. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you.
ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਵਰਲਡ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਬੁਲੇਟਿਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ। ਹੋਰ ਤਾਜ਼ਾ ਖਬਰਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਟੀਵੀ ਨਾਰਥ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਆਗਿਆ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।